What's up, guys? So in this week's Mat Chat, we're talking about competition because we've got some guys this weekend going out to San Antonio to compete. And so I wanted to ask Coach Corey, how does he help somebody prepare? And if you're maybe thinking of doing competition, what advice would he give to you to kind of help you get prepared?
So guys, when you're getting ready to compete, it's fun, it's exciting, but it also requires accountability, and it requires us to put some work into it, because obviously this is a goal we're trying to reach. The first thing I would say is nail down a training routine. Almost with every one of my people that compete, we have the rule here: you must attend 3 classes with me a week. You can get more than that, which we usually do. I usually have people still getting 4 to 5 days in with me. But it's at least 3, okay? If you can nail yourself down and say, hey, I'm gonna train Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it may be, that's the first kind of block in our building.
Do you prefer that it's the same days, or does it matter?
Honestly, as long as I'm seeing you 3 times a week, the class is always gonna be the same. You're gonna get your Muay Thai, your Jiu-Jitsu, your kickboxing, whatever it is. But at least I'm seeing you 3 days a week. I can make sure I'm correcting any mistakes that you're making, and not only that, but you're getting the same kind of time in with your training partners who are also getting ready to compete.
Yeah.
That way, everyone's kind of upping each other's level very slowly.
That makes sense.
So that'd be the first thing, right? Is really nail down your training schedule, okay? But another thing is like training outside of here. And when I say that, training outside of here, I mean easiest as possible, easy, but jump rope, go on a jog, go on a hike, go mountain biking, something to kind of keep you active when you're not in here, so you're not just plopping down. Of course, you want to have a proper rest day, but on days that you're not here, still get some kind of activity in, right? I always say that goes a long way. My third piece I'd say on that would be nail down a good diet, okay? Getting ready for tournaments, you don't want to be eating bags of chips and endless supplies of chocolate and beer and all that kind of stuff. You want to eat healthy because you're going to have to exert a lot of energy in here. You're going to have to exert a lot of energy in your competition. So proper diet is huge, okay? Make sure you are being accountable. It's okay to have a cheat meal here and there as long as you're making your weight, but you really should be eating clean, okay? Because it's like if I'm a race car driver getting my car ready for, a match or a race, I'm gonna make sure, the oil's changed, everything's tip-top condition. You gotta do the same thing with your body, right? So that goes into it. The other thing is, do take rest days. The person that trains 7 days a week, 6 days a week, and they're getting ready for competition, the energy's there, and I know the passion's there, but at the same time, you're not letting your body recover. It's not bad to have a day to say, hey, I'm gonna sleep in, I'm gonna take that nice bubble bath, I'm gonna maybe eat my cheat meal if I'm on weight. But do those things so as you're going through this goal, it doesn't seem so impossibly hard, right? That's the thing, it should be attainable for everyone with these things in place. So that would be my big ones to start off with. Routine, training routine here, make sure you get some sort of movement or cardio outside of here, make sure you are eating a proper diet, and get rest days.
I like that.
Yeah.
So with the second point about training, getting something outside of here, say somebody has the opportunity to roll or spar with somebody outside of here, or could do something like go mountain biking. Would you recommend they cross train with something, or hey, the closer it can be to this, the better?
I do love the idea of cross training. When you don't have a competition, obviously cross training is great. Now, if you're rolling with people that you don't necessarily know, they might not know you're getting ready for a tournament, and they might be popping things on you like heel hooks or landing really hard leg kicks. So just make sure you know your training partners, okay? You don't want someone that's gonna hurt you a week before the tournament. I've had that happen to people before. They were getting ready for jiu-jitsu tournaments. They went to an open mat on a Sunday, and then I was getting a call Monday, hey, I have a torn ligament, I can't compete. It's like, well, now you wasted all that prep time because you were kind of doing something outside of your routine. So I guess when you're doing competition, unless you know your training partners, maybe stick to more of like a cardio-based exercise. Go jogging, go running, go biking. That's gonna help you get through your rounds. It's gonna give you the cardio strength that you need. You can still get your sparring in here, but it's just gonna add into your cardio to make you last through that match.
I like that. And then the thing on recovery that you brought up, it sounds like you're also saying like just so you don't burn yourself out, like
Absolutely.
so that so mentally you're recovered, not just physically. Is that
Absolutely, because I mean, you always hear the joke like the fight game is half mental. There's something to that. There's something to that. If you're just miserable throughout your whole what we'll call fight camp, right? Your whole fight camp, you're gonna have those frustrations going into your match. You're gonna kind of be blocked. You're gonna go in there with maybe more anger or aggression, and that sometimes can be a good thing. But usually, it's gonna lead you to making silly mistakes. That's gonna get you caught, knocked out, lose the match. Um, I think rest days are incredibly important, so you do kind of refresh yourself, and then you go, okay, this is my day to relax, my day to eat, this is my day to chill and do nothing, and then hey, tomorrow at this time I'm getting up and I'm gonna go back to my fight camp, and then work towards that rest day again.
Got it.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody's debating on trying competition. They're like, man, that sounds like fun, but they're nervous. I could see. I mean, maybe you have ideas of what you see more with people, but I would imagine things like I don't know if I can dedicate that much. It sounds really grueling, or I don't want to get my butt kicked. I mean, I would imagine those would be the two big concerns. I just need a little more time to get better. How soon can somebody start considering?
I mean, I've had students that train with me here for 6 to 8 months and compete and do either win, or if they didn't even win, just do incredibly well, losing maybe a decision or something like that. So it is possible, and I wouldn't call it grueling. It just takes time. I know everyone wants to go drink on the weekends. Everyone wants to go eat an XL pizza. But if you can say for a month or two, hey, I can avoid those things or I can limit those things, that just shows you really care about this goal. If you're like, oh, well, this is too hard because I can't drink beer all the time and eat all, well, maybe it's not for you, okay? But if you say, hey, I can enjoy these things in moderation, that's okay. As far as you're getting your butt kicked, promise, guys, I've had so many people compete for me. No one's ever gotten mortally injured, paralyzed, broken beyond repair. This is martial arts. Bruises happen. Nicks with your fingernails happen. But for the most part, worst case going to happen is you're going to be sweating. You're going to be sweating and tired. Your lungs are going to burn. Your arms are going to burn. But that's all stuff we can overcome. Yeah.
What should the mentality be of somebody that's competing? I guess I think you get.
I would say for the first thing, guys, you gotta have fun. This has to be fun. I always said the day competing stops being fun for me, I stop. I'm still competing all these years later. I've done it all, and I still compete just because it's fun. So you keep fun, keep the rose-colored lenses on competing. You're doing something that 99% of the population will not do, and that makes you really brave, and that makes you really cool. It makes you. It kind of gives you something to be proud of. You're not just hitting up another bar on the weekend. You're going to compete for a medal in a kickboxing tournament or a jiu-jitsu tournament. That's really exciting. The other thing is use this opportunity as a learning experience. I've said, I've learned so much through the years just by competing, not only about myself mentally, but about my skills, where I've had to then either, improve a skill or maybe kind of get a different idea or concept around a skill. But it should be a good learning experience. And at the end of the day, guys, you should really be enjoying this learning experience. You should be like, hey, even if I lost, I learned something that I didn't know before. Maybe I have to work on my takedown defense, or maybe, hey, my punches have to be a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. But it's cool. You get to learn this really awesome lesson while you're having fun. And the last one is going to win. I always say, I'm like, this is fun, but go in there with the idea that you're going to win. Don't ever go in there, I'm going to get my butt kicked. No, go in there saying you're going to win. I've had people here that are IT workers, office workers, kind of people you would never guess that would fight and go in there and absolutely kick their opponent's butt because they went in there with the mentality of, well, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in my skills. I've been making my training sessions. I've been doing good in my sparring. So keep that in your head. Hey, I'm gonna win. That's number one. Hey, I'm gonna have fun. And 3, I'm gonna learn something. That's kind of my 3.
I like that. On the second point, I remember hearing that competition is sort of this crucible where you do up level. People get noticeably better after a competition just because something about just that focused time preparing, it does something that just training during that time doesn't do.
Correct. Absolutely. I always say, like, after a tournament, even a tournament I've lost, within 3 to 4 months, I was incredibly better in whatever skill set that I was not in before. So it is a level upper. Or even on the flip side, if you do win, now you know the pathways that that get you the victory quickest. That's also a very awesome kind of upping your skill level. Either you lose and you realize you have to improve, or you won and you realize that kind of pathway is one of your go-to games. So, yeah.
That actually does bring up another question, on the topic of loss. So how should somebody handle a loss? How should their team handle a loss for that person's loss? And how should a coach handle that person's loss?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. At the end of the day, guys, I'll be honest, a loss hurts. You know, you have that pride sting. I've had it before where your pride hurts. It could be a little, maybe it could be hurt on the ego. But at the end of the day, guys, like, realize, again, you've done something that most people will never do. You stepped on the mat, you stepped in the ring, you fought. That alone is worth praise. That alone is a huge mountain of an accomplishment, just to go in there and say, hey, I fought, I competed. But, you know, take your loss with pride. Hey, I did my best, I went in there, I trained really hard, I'm gonna get it next time. As far as the team goes, you know, back your partner up, back your teammate up, let them know they did great. You know, give them their space as appropriate, but let them know you're proud of them. Let them know that you're happy and really excited to have this person as your training partner. I think that's really important. And then as far as a coach, guys, I'll be honest, I love you whether you win or lose. I don't care if you win every gold medal in Texas or you don't medal at all. I'm just proud that you guys have trusted in your skills through what I've taught you so much that you're willing to go test it out and see for yourself. I think those are the 3 most important things of how to kind of deal with the loss.
Last question. Give me maybe a walkthrough of what is like an example of Coach Corey getting ready for a competition. What does that look like?
Oh boy. Okay. So, well, as far as me as coach getting ready for a competition,
or actually no, as a competitor, this is kind of going back to the stuff you started with. Like, get your cross training in. Make sure you're training 3 days a week. Make sure your diet's healthy. Make sure you're getting the mental game. How do you do that? What does that look like?
Yeah. So, guys, when I get ready for competition, just kind of basic things I was saying, like my diet is really on point. I will have a cheat day, but I rarely cheat on my meals. I'm really kind of stickler on that part. Another thing is I get my sleep when I have fights coming up in tournaments. Like, if it's 9:30 and you know there's a cool movie on it, sorry, I'm going to bed. I'm gonna get my rest. I want to be well rested because that's gonna also help my recovery time. But I also get my work out of here. You know, I go on little walks, I go on little hikes. I have friends at friendly schools that I can go to and train with where I know they won't hurt me, but they want to give me a hard spar to get me ready. So that I kind of live how I preach in that aspect. I'm doing all the same things I'm telling you guys to do because I know they're going to work for me as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, I think the camera, we've got a couple more minutes, but we'll end it here because that would suck if it just ended right in the middle. But I think that's awesome stuff. So, bye.